How are you? How's your week? How are you feeling? How are your thoughts and feelings this week? Are they positive? Are they growth promoting? Or are you experiencing what most of us experience, most of us struggling to be able to focus on bigger thoughts, not just the everyday ruminations that go through our minds. The things that go around and around and around, the anxieties, the worries. Am I good enough? Am I succeeding? Am I doing this right? Making judgments about other people, making judgments about ourselves. This is what brains do. This is what minds do. Always making judgments, right? Always thinking and overthinking and living in imagination, living in thought. We can ask, is that really living? Is it really living to be living in thoughts? Well, what are thoughts? Are they true? Most of them are not. We know that most of what we think doesn't come true. Our perceptions, our beliefs about other people, our beliefs about ourselves, our beliefs about the world. These are opinions. Most of the time, they're not true. Maybe this is why in part, why our sages say that we're living in an olam hasheker, we're living in a world of falsehood. Could be that partly, I need a source for this, but I think partly it's because we're putting our falsehood, we're projecting our falsehoods of our thoughts and our perceptions onto almost everything that's happening all day long. Now, of course, this is even more true for a person who is experiencing depression or experiencing anxiety, right? Because the constant ruminations about a person, about oneself, and let's remember that a lot of this is what we get stuck on, is that we're using always a lot of these personal pronouns in relation to ourselves. I, me. A lot of the thoughts have to do with me, I, mine, not you, yours, others. It's another subject, but depression, which is a very common, unfortunately, maybe even the most common emotional disorder that people are suffering from today. The thoughts are, I'm no good, I'm never going to get out of this, I'm hopeless, it's always going to be this way, I tried everything. That's a great one, I tried everything. Who can try everything? Only Hashem is everything, right? There's a Gemara in Sukkot, in Tractate Sukkot, there's a Talmud, a teaching from the Talmud on page 53a, the first side of the page, where the Talmud is talking about the Simchas Beis HaShoeva, the wonderful, incredible, happy party, so to speak, that took place, happy celebration that took place in the Beis HaMikdash, during the festival of Sukkot. And there Hashem says, Im ani kan, hakol kan. If I am here, everything is here, says Hashem. If I am here, everything is here. Okay? Makes sense. So we have to understand the Gemara. If Hashem is everything, so Hashem is here, everything is here. Right? So I need a source for this also, but I want to say that when Hashem says I am here, here is important. Here may not only mean Beis HaMikdash. It may also mean any place now, in this moment. And this is just the thing that a person with depression or anxiety is not doing. None of us are doing that. We're really not living now. I asked before, is it really considered living if we're living in our thoughts? Living in imagination, living in planning, living in our to-do lists? No, I don't think it is. I think that living means living in reality. Of course, there's things we have to do. There's all kinds of things that we have to get done. Most of us are busy people. But as I hope to explain today, it's going to be a different kind of a doing once we're in touch with ourselves and we're in touch with our Creator, the Master of the universe. Once we get in touch and we're grounded in the reality of Hashem and ourselves, we go through that list, we go through much better. We learn, we remember we have a special bracha from God, we have a special blessing from God, we have a siyata d'shemaya, a help from heaven, that you can do more. You can do more. Our sages didn't have much time because they were busy praying 9 hours a day. Doesn't leave much time for reviewing what they learned. But they remembered everything. They had a special blessing. A special blessing. Because they were encountering Hashem. They were sitting with Hashem. Shifti b'beis Hashem, kol yemei chayai. King David said, I want to sit. Sit. It doesn't have to be sitting. You can stand also. You can walk when you do personal prayer. You can stand. But you know who you're standing before. And you're alive and you're awake in this moment. You have awareness. Awareness is the key. Das. Awareness of ourselves, awareness of Hashem, awareness of divine providence. Divine providence is the beautiful and glorious unfolding of Hashem's presence in everything that you see going on around you. In all the events that occur during the day, in the people you meet, the conversations that you have, and what happens and what doesn't happen, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all Hashem. We miss it. We miss everything. We don't see the stage even. Forget the players and the scripts and the dialogue. We don't see anything if we're not awake, if we're not here, if we're not now. Hayom sishma'u b'koili. It says in the Torah, today it was by the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. Hashem said, today hearken to my voice. Pay attention. Attend. Take residence in the now. Habitat this moment. This moment is timeless. Every moment, every second is absolutely timeless. No limit. Beyond time. It's Maila min hazaman, and every single second is Maila min hamakom. It's boundless. It's beyond space. It's beyond place. Every second is full, rich, and eternal. When we slow down, we can get a little bit of a feeling for it. We're never going to know what every second is. We're never going to know how precious every second is. Just like you're never going to know how precious you are. Because all of these thoughts that are spinning around in a person's mind is not the person. All the false thoughts, negative thoughts, the negative self-talk, the negative judgments about self, others, it's not who you are. You're complete. You're perfect. You're whole, much more than you can really appreciate, much more than any of us can really appreciate. But we have to know that we can't fully appreciate our greatness. We have to know that we can't fully appreciate our importance, our cheshivas, our uniqueness, how beloved we are by our Creator. Can't appreciate it. But if we live now, if we take time to sit, as King David says, shifti b'beis Hashem, and we're focusing in the now, like Rashi says, what is today, Hayom means every day. doesn't just mean the day back then that God came down and gave Moses the Torah on Mount Sinai. It means every single day. And I want to say it means every single second. I think this is also what Rabbi Shalom Arush is talking about. Every single second. Every second. To be with ourselves and to be with Hashem and to be with what's going on. Every second. Right? Atem hadavekim elokeichem chayim chulchem chayon. Those of you, it says, who are connected with the Creator are alive today. You see, those of you who are connected are alive. We can only be connected now. We can only be connected to ourselves and to Hashem now, in this moment. We need a way of slowing down. We need a way of taking residence in this moment, in the now, and feeling its richness and its fullness, and how luminous it is, and how much light there is in the moment, in this moment now. That God is here now. We can't connect to Him in the past or the future. There is no past, there's no future. When we do this, we're really just here and now. No past, no future. Just Hashem, just now, just us. Connecting with Hashem. Devekis means connection. Kulchem chayom. You are the ones that are living. Yeah, there are people that are running around and they're on automatic pilot, but they're not really living in a spiritual sense. They're living physically, but they're not really living spiritually, because a gerbil running on a wheel has no brain. He's not in the world. A person who's racing is not aware. So he doesn't even know that he's having these depressive thoughts. He doesn't even know the pressure that's building up in him. He doesn't know the negative things that he's saying to himself or that he's thinking about himself or others. And he doesn't realize how his mood is spiraling down. How come I'm so depressed? What happened? All of a sudden, you wake up depressed. Wakes up sad. Doesn't make a connection between how his own thoughts, his own images, his memories and so on, are affecting his mood. So awareness brings that into clarity. And once you have awareness, even if we're having awareness of the problem, even if we're having awareness of the dysfunctional thinking, if you will, that awareness is a beautiful thing. That awareness is keeping you in the now. That means you're here, you're alive. Spiritually, you're alive. If you're paying attention, you're alive. And you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to do something to be able to get away from the problem, the thoughts, the overthinking. What do people usually do? How do people try to get away from negative thinking? Well, either, like we said, they're racing so fast, they try to avoid it, ignore it, deny it. Deny it means I know that I'm having negative thinking, but I don't think it's negative. I'm angry, but I don't think it's anger. I'm not angry, the other guy's angry. We call that projection. Or I'm not angry, I'm going to act kind towards you. We'll flip it around, turn it into its opposite. So now instead of killing you with a punch, I'll kill you with kindness. I'll kill you by over-controlling your life and making you feel like you can't do anything for yourself. Where I'll micromanage you until you go out of your mind. Kill you with kindness. But I'm not angry. This type of person doesn't yet know. Doesn't have awareness. And so he can't do anything to transform himself into something, into a more healthy way of living. I don't want to say to fix himself, because that's part of the problem too. Remember, we don't need to be fixed. You're perfect. You're whole. You are really only a soul residing in a body. And it's, for the most part, it's the body that's giving you these problems. The physical body, the physical world, and its influence on you. That's what's giving you distractions, obsessive ruminations, worries, fears, sadness, jealousy, you name it. These are all coming essentially from this world, not from the essence of who you are. So you don't need to be fixed. And part of what gets people into problems is their attempts to fix things. So a person gets a negative thought, and he tries to fix it. Sometimes it works. He says, okay, I'm going to substitute a positive thought for that negative thought, okay? I'm going to push away the negative thought, substitute a positive thought. What happens? It can work for a while, but usually that negative thought comes back. And when it comes back, it could come back with much more intensity, much more fury, much more determination. So fighting against negative thoughts is a way of trying to fix them that doesn't work. Substituting, running away doesn't work. What else do people do? Well, sometimes very clever people will try to reframe negativity and try to make it so that we something positive in it. You know? Every cloud has a silver lining. So the person will look for the positive intention in this terrible thing that happened, the trauma, the pain that we're enduring right now. A person's enduring pain, physical pain, emotional pain. Try to find something good in it. Okay, that can help. All of these things help to some extent. We're all getting challenged. But there's something that helps more than anything else. There's something helps it more than anything else. Because even people that are not particularly depressed need help. People that are not formally diagnosed with depression or anxiety or some type of, God forbid, some type of addiction, right, need help. Because today people are not fulfilled. People are not truly happy. People have really not enough an understanding of their true capacity to be joyful, to be happy, to be funny, to be playful. Very far from this. Very, very far from this. So what is it that works? Well, Rabbi Irish, he cues us in. He talks about how everything's from Hashem, right? Ein oid milvado means everything is from Hashem. Hu levado asa ose v'ya'ase kol hamasim. He did, does, and will do everything. All the events of the world, from the biggest to the tiniest microscopic, molecular and atomic events, all coming from him. A famous quote. Rav Arish is quoting the famous Maimonides, the Rambam. And fine. Everything's coming from Hashem. We're looking for a strategy for dealing with depression and anxiety. So we're thinking, okay, everything comes from Hashem. That means Hashem is orchestrating everything. Hashem is running everything. That means that everything that happens, when we look at Emunah, levels of Emunah, we know not only is there a God, but there is a God and He does everything for the best. And He does everything for a purpose. So now when we have these tools, we use these tools. We use these tools to get out of thoughts and to live in the present, this is how we do it. We accept. We don't fight against depression. We don't fight against anxiety. We accept it. We accept it. And that's a very, very powerful, very powerful way to join with adversity, to join with the things that we didn't like, that we don't like. We join with the things that aren't going our way, the things that are tough, the things that aren't easy. We accept them. It's a radical stance. I'm going to accept because it's coming from Hashem. Okay? There's a difference. When I accept it, it's not going to come back and bite me harder because I'm accepting it. Hashem sees I'm accepting it. Some people even thank Hashem. They thank Hashem for adversity. I can grow from this. I need this. The problems are necessary. I know that, Hashem. Thank you for these problems. Thank you for these challenges. Okay, so let's take a situation. A person is getting very, very judgmental. And he doesn't want to be judgmental. He doesn't want to be thinking bad things about people. But he's getting a constant flow of negative thoughts about another person. Right? Really, he wants to be able to do what we're saying today, to live now like we've never lived before, to meet each moment with a freshness, Hayom, with a freshness, and to look at this person like, okay, this is a new person, a Bria Chadasha. We never looked at this person before. We're now open. We're receptive. We want to look at this person, give this person a chance to see something in this person, or see something in yourself that you never really were open to seeing in yourself. How good you are. How generous you really want to be. How loving you really want to be. And there's this part of you that really wants to be loving and giving. So a person wants to be able to do that, but his brain is reeling, going on with all the negativities and all the negative self-talk, and it's getting louder and louder. You can hear it, and you're driving crazy. So what do? You accept it. You don't try to fix it. You don't try to change it. You just stay aware of it. You remember your emunah, you remember your faith, you remember there's got to be something good about it. Yeah, but I don't know what that is, and I'm not looking for that right now. I'm not searching for why right now this is good. I'm just want to be aware of it. This is what I'm doing now. This is what is now. I'm doing it again. I'm not perfect. Really, I am perfect. Remember, which you have to remember what essentially, as I said before, you're perfect. You're in the Neshama Tahara. You were made in the image of God. But these thoughts are coming. These thoughts, these feelings. You feel your mood spiraling down. You feel you're getting angry. Okay, I'm getting angry. Be aware that you're getting angry. And by being aware of it, by finding a way to be anchored in yourself, to be able to spend time connecting with yourself during personal prayer, during Hisbodedus, connecting to yourself more and more and more, then when these things come, you're going to be observing them more. They're not you. You're going to put some distance between the dysfunctional thinking and you. You're going to have some space, some psychological space, so that you're looking at it and you're saying, it's happening again, but it's not penetrating into you. And you're not going to be emotionally reactive to the thoughts. You're not going to get upset or angry. You see it. It's a neutral thing. It's happening. but it doesn't have to take you over. It's interesting that how this works. It works with emotions. It works with external events, things happening outside of us, it happens with things happening inside of us as well. And it happens with sensations, even physical sensations that people experience, sensations like pain. You know, we work with chronic pain patients. We work with people who have chronic pain that has been treated medically, and everything that can be done for that person medically has already been done. It's already been done. Person now is learning to embrace the pain, to welcome it, to accept it, to invite it in. They may call it discomfort instead of pain. They might call it severe, intense discomfort. But they're invited in, they welcome it. It's a whole different way of looking at it. It changes it immediately. It changes it right away. It's something different. And it can lessen the pain. It can lessen the pain. And even if it doesn't lessen the pain, you know, the actual measure of how much pain there is, it can increase a person's functionality. Acceptance is powerful. So the person might go from lying in bed, unable to do anything, to functioning. And doing even more than they did even before they had the pain. You know? It's accepting that we don't know why Hashem does what he does. We're not questioning Hashem. We're not complaining. We're not complaining. We're not getting frustrated. We're not, making demands. Not making demands. We're accepting. Sometimes it all goes away. Hashem says, you're accepting. And like I said before, there are people that even thank him. Hashem says, okay, you're thanking me for this? Whew. Now I'll give you something to really thank me for. He takes it away. And it doesn't just have to be physical pain that Hashem takes away. It could be a financial strain. It could be a depression, as we said before. And we talk to people who are in a world of deep, deep depression. It can be taken away, lifted. People that don't have enough time to sleep. They accept the exhaustion. They have to work with exhaustion. They have to raise kids with exhaustion. You have to get up in the morning and you have to make meals and get them dressed and send them to school and pick them up from school. In the middle you have to shop and clean and cook. And you didn't get enough sleep. You didn't get decent sleep. Maybe you haven't slept well for days. Okay, this is happening. I accept it. I accept it, Hashem. Acceptance is liberating. This is what we see. And psychological studies support this. More and more psychological studies support this. There's what they call mindfulness-based treatment. Mindfulness means awareness. Being aware of everything that's going on now. Everything that's going on right now. Everything. And if you drop into this awareness, if you drop into this mode of thinking, of being cognizant and aware of everything that's going on, you can't be aware of everything that's going on. There's too many variables. It's just too much. But more and more, living in this mode of awareness is liberating. It's liberating. We're not trying to find out why things are the way they are. That's questioning. We can make inquiries. We can, in Hisbodedus, seek to get answers and seek to go deep and listen to the messages that are coming to us, the wisdom that's coming to us. We're seeking wisdom. We're seeking understanding. We're seeking direction. But first we have to seek. You have to have a brain to do it with. How do you get your brain? How do you get engaged? Slow down, you have to be here. You have to be here first. Okay. By the way, a lot of this psychological research mindfulness is getting superior results, getting better results than cognitive therapy by itself. Cognitive therapy, which is the cognitions means thoughts, changing thoughts, reframing thoughts, restructuring thoughts, helps, it works, right? But acceptance works much better. Acceptance and living in the moment. A lot of this comes from the Torah. Originally, these were things that were teachings and wisdom that was lost, but they had it. There was a Masorah tradition. Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, who was the wisest of all men, the wisest man to ever walk the earth, he possessed all of this wisdom, the wisdom of mindfulness, what they call mindfulness. This being mindful. I mean, the prophets had this wisdom. They had this tradition, the early prophets. And we know that a lot of people came to the Middle East. They came to learn to the East to learn from the Greeks. Came to learn from our Chachamim, to learn from our sages, from our prophets. Even it's even written in some of their own books that they came and learned with us. Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, where did they get their wisdom? They learned here. They changed it around for their own purposes, but there were elements, they got a lot of wisdom from coming to study with the sages. Abraham lived in the East. So we're not so far from the Eastern cultures, the Asian cultures. They also were involved in mingling with Jewish sages and so on and so forth. So essentially what we're doing is we are reclaiming traditions that are ours. Reclaiming traditions that are ours, meditative traditions. Mindfulness, which comes from a meditative tradition that was originally ours. And we leave out, the other things that they added on. But this is very, very important. Atem hatavekim Hashem halkeichem chayim chulchem chayom. We have to connect with Hashem, to Vekas. It says that the purpose of our lives is just that, to know Hashem. And the Mesilas Yesharim says that the meaning of knowing Hashem means being in connection with Hashem. And how do we get connected with God? Only through now, This is where your life is, this moment. How do you stand up and pray? You have to have an engaged brain that's aware, that's inhabiting this time. You know, it says in the teaching that I quoted you before, which is in Tractate Brachos, it's in the 5th parak, 5th chapter, it's the first teaching, the first Mishnah, that those sages, before they would pray, they would spend an hour doing this, and then an hour of praying, and then an hour after praying to sort of decompress, to come back down to earth, and to bring that connection that they established into this world of action, into this world of everyday doing. That's what I meant before by when you come back, it's a different doing. It's a doing that's coming from something real, from reality, not coming from ruminative thinking or pressured thinking, or I must or I should, musting and shoulding type of thinking. No, it's a deep yearning to do what's right, to do what the Torah says, to follow the mitzvahs, the commandments of Hashem. Can only do it in this moment. Right? Okay, so acceptance means also that we're using these negatives in a very positive way, which is also what we're supposed to be doing. We serve Hashem with both the good inclination and the evil or negative inclination. We use both. Right? This is how we do it. We accept negatives. Right? We don't fight. We stay away from depressive thoughts. And that helps us to be happier than we could ever be. Happier than we could ever be. By accepting that these are just thoughts. And after, as we said before, you're going to have that separation, that mental space between you, who you are, which is perfect and whole, and these thoughts. They're just thoughts. Right? It's not real. It's not true. It's interesting, we have about 86 billion neurons in our brains. About 86 billion brain cells. That's a lot to work with. You have a very, very important piece of matter in your cranium, in your skull. 86 billion. So acceptance, using what you have, appreciating what you have, being grateful for what you have, not fighting, not tiring, not having grievances that we need more, we should have more, or how come we don't have more yet, whether it's money, whether it's intelligence, whether it's children, whether it's peace of mind. Okay, I have anxiety now. You can be happy even though you have anxiety. You can be happy even though you feel you have depression. This is what's meant by Sameach B'chelko, being happy with our lot, what we have right now. What we have right now. What level we're on right now, whatever level of happiness we have on right now, it's perfect. No complaints. Acceptance. It's good. You bounce the check, you feel bad, okay. That's how I feel. And rush and try to fix it? No, we're not trying to fix anything. We accept it. It's from Hashem. Accept it. Okay, you didn't want it to happen. I understand that. I don't want it to happen either. Bounce a check. Get a ticket. Get a parking ticket. Okay. That's what Gam Zulatova means. That's what it means. This is good too. The rabbis say, Zev, you're getting a kapara for this. You're getting some kind of a cleansing. Fine. Okay, that's what you say. Great. Very good. I hope you're right. I hope I'm getting cleansed. If the rabbis say it, the qualified rabbis, then of course it's going to happen. But I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not looking for justification, rationalization, make myself feel better. Most of the time, we cannot make ourselves feel better by saying, okay, this and this, there's some reason for this, and this suffering has a certain type of meaning. Let it go. Let it go. Be patient. Let it go. Stop striving. Stop pushing to fix. Hashem will fix. Hashem is the healer. All the refuahs, they come from Him. Right? Our job is to do this. Just do this. Accept. Work with that. Go with the flow. Don't fight against the current. Don't try to swim upstream. Even if you're strong, the current of the river is going to be stronger than you are. You can't fight for too long. Go with the flow. Go with the current. This is great wisdom. Samech b'chelko. Living in the present moment. Depending on Hashem. Depending on your emunah. Trusting Hashem. So this is the beauty of sensing that everything is one. We say in the Shema, Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Echad means one. People that do Hisbodedus, they get a feeling, they get a sense of how everything converges, how Hashem is the most perfect oneness. Everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the things you want, the things you don't want, all the judgments you make, you think it's good, you think it's bad. Everything is one, everything. And so you are, in a sense, fulfilling this obligation that we say 2 times a day when we recite, Hear, O Israel, Hashem, your God, Hashem is one. You're acknowledging that. It's all Hashem. Everything is one. Everything is unified. Accept that. Accept it. Malol kol ha'aretz kavodo. The whole world is filled with Him. Filled with Him, His glory. It's all one. Accept it. Accept it. And you'll have a beautiful life. There's no dualism. There's only Hashem. There's nothing else. It's just one power. It's Him by Himself. There's only one cause for everything that's going on. He's causing everything. We don't have questions. A person of faith has no questions. Acceptance. Patience. Letting go of ego, letting go. And when you start to tune in, you see how much ego there is in us. That's okay, be aware of that too. Don't butcher yourself, don't feel bad about yourself when you start to see these things. Don't feel bad about yourself. You have to have a lot of compassion for yourself. You have to have tremendous compassion for yourself. Because this is a struggle. This is one of the hardest things there is to do in life. Is to have this awareness and to work with this awareness and to stay with it and not go letting your head go flying off into a million directions. Stay here, stay with it. And just do that, stay with that. That's the discipline. That's the discipline of Hisbodedus. And if you want, you can be like our great sages who started out by just sitting with Hashem. before they started to speak to Hashem, they would just sit and direct their hearts, as the commentators say, to direct their hearts to their Father in heaven before they would pray. That means spending time directing their hearts, being mischaven, having that intention. That's meditation. To think about Hashem, to think about your connection, to think about where you are. Because first you have to also think about where you are before you can connect to somebody else. And that goes for connecting with Hashem as well. Then you can contemplate the romimus, the exaltedness of Hashem, which other commentators say, to Hashem's place, to think about Hashem, how He has no place. There is no place. This, like we said before, that He's the Makam Shal Olam. He's in every place. He's in everybody's place. He's in your place. He's in my place. Helps us to not judge people. Everything. Okay. So we can, we have methods, strategies, meditations, if you will, to help people to get in touch with this, to be living more in the moment, to be in the now. There are meditations we can focus, we can take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, focus on gratitude, focus on patience, focus on divine providence, focus on being more pure. Whatever it is that you need, you can learn the tools and strategies to be able to acquire those. And we're available for anybody that wants to consult with us. You can call us. I'm going to give you a toll-free number. The number is 718-577-2975. That's 718. What is it? It'll come back to me. It comes in and out. See, I have to accept. I'm forgetting the number. 718-577-2975. See how acceptance works? 718-755-2975. And you can call between 2 in the afternoon and 11 o'clock, Israel time. Dial 1 for Aaron. He'll tell you all about our programs, set you up. 577-2975. And he will give you an appointment. If you want to speak with me, if you want to speak with our Rebbitzin, Mrs. Hanan, about what we call Emunah coaching, Emunah therapy, and send you information, answer questions, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to stop at this point. I'm going to give everybody a blessing that you should be able to come to yourself, to develop a connection with God, live more in the moment, have clarity of mind, do things that you really want to do, think things that you really want to think, and come to understand from a very deep place what you believe in and what your goals are, and to be patient and loving towards yourselves. This is my blessing. And in the merit of us all working together and having awareness not only of the individual work that we're doing on ourselves, me, my, mine, but also having an awareness of you, yours, theirs, working together to make a world a better place, we should soon see the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu B'mher Yameinu, the building of the Holy Temple speedily in our days. Amen.